Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today to go through the Mystic section here of my Orchis raids. I've been getting asked this quite a bit, and this is actually a big reason why I'm skipping the NIGHTSTALKERS team until the free-to-play events come, because right now, for the meantime, especially now that I recently unlocked Odin, I have Mephisto from Dark Dimension 7. There is a great synergistic team that works if you guys have also unlocked these characters. Now, I know, some of you folks may not even have these characters built up, but I just wanted to leave this video out here for those that do have access to these characters. And more importantly, if you don't have Odin, that's okay, because I was getting it done without Odin. He does just reduce that little room for error there in terms of making sure that you can actually go through all three nodes, solo lane, all the mystics. So the big characters for myself: Mephisto, Val, Ultimus. Deathpool is really important too, just because of the fact that she can actually grant energy upon the enemy death. So I got some gameplay footage here to show you guys how my strategy overall works. And once again, if you don't have Odin for this team, who I was using before was just swapping in my other strong mystic characters. So it could be characters like Robbie Reyes. I used an experimenter with Dormammu, Adam Warlock. Heck, if you have some of the NIGHTSTALKERS team, you could throw them in just as sacks. But honestly speaking, because I only have the three-piece and Agatha Harkness, Moon Knight, and Blade, they don't really do too much without the pivotal pieces and being Oath, because of her energy generation, as well as the support capabilities provided by Man-Thing. So without further ado, guys, let me show you the gameplay here footage of how I usually tackle all three nodes. Now, for this first node, guys, I'm actually just going to sim it with this team here. Dormammu's not required. You can throw in, honestly, any one of your strong characters, and you can get the job done there. Now, if you want to see how I actually attempt this on node 1 using just my Asgardians team, the Bifrost team, you can actually still get value out of them for getting through the first node. That's probably the first node that they can handle, and then that's when we need to swap in some of these other mystic characters to actually get the job done without NIGHTSTALKERS. Okay, so with this one, we are going to be combining our forces here with Mephisto and Ultimus, because they're going to be honing in on and focusing the Gladiator ASAP, as you'll see that he's going to be the big taunt that we have to get through. So that's really part of the strategy here. So you definitely do not want to use the third scroll for Ultimus. You want to go ahead and use the first one. That way it takes down, like, as you can see, almost more than 50% of Gladiator's HP. And then you use Ultimus's ultimate, and just to bring him down even lower, he's almost at the brink. And that's really, really key, because now it gives us an opportunity to use our characters to finish off Gladiator as soon as possible. And even using a character like Val, now she is able to, finish Gladiator off with the mass ability block on multiple enemies. And that's really, really key. Once Gladiator is taken care of, the overall strategy should be focusing in on Thanos Endgame and or Peter B. Parker because of his sustain. Now, thankfully, I wasn't expecting Thanos' passive to actually trigger. It already did, so that's great. We don't have to worry about it. And as you can see, it didn't do too much damage either against this group of characters that are gear tier 18 and 19. Boom, we go ahead, we finish off Peter B. Parker. It's really important to focus him, because later on, when the rest of the Spire Society characters spawn together, he's going to be making sure they have sustainability. And if you take him out of the picture, as you see with Penny here, Quicksilver, this is where you want to be honing in on these enemies, right? And like I said, it's really fortuitous for us that Thanos Endgame already utilizes passive. Now we can actually focus and clean up here. But what I like about this team mixture is that Odin does put them over the top because of the buff that he grants to the team, right? And typically when I was doing this before, I needed multiple attempts bringing in Mephisto to cast Exhaust, so that way weaken my enemies. But overall, the same strategy. You want to take down Gladiator, weaken Thanos Endgame, and then take care a couple of those key pieces within Spire Society. And that's how we were able to get through it as well. Only difference here is that instead of Odin, I would bring in another Bifrost character, either Loki or Sylvie. That way they can actually give you a little bit of speed, but as well that crowd controlling aspect in terms of mind control attacks and using them against each other. When it's basically this mixture here, the stragglers of the Spire Society mixed in with Gore, it's pretty slim picking. So I probably didn't need to ult with my Odin, but I was just messing around here and trying to just get through the node. But yeah, overall, once that initial wave is cleaned up, it's very, very straightforward. In my opinion, this is probably the hardest node out of the three nodes. You can't really auto sim this unless your full team is gear tier 19, but in my case, my ultimates and death pool only being gear tier 18, I didn't want to take the chance. I failed before my sims, so that's the gameplay there. That's the overall strategy, but that's again with the one shot if you have both characters. And again, you can still swap in different characters in my honest opinion. You don't need Odin, but I think without Night Stalkers, you definitely do need Mephisto. Okay, so boss node, I don't think there's going to be as much emphasis on this one because the good news is that all your alliance mates have to go through the boss nodes together, right? So how I like to do this, exact same team as you can see here, but this time I'm going to be starting Mephisto with the third scroll, sorry. That way it casts exhaust across all the enemies. Reason being is because we want all these enemies to be weakened, especially since Void Knight's going to have the advantage in using his ability block on us. So there's not really much you can do in the beginning here. You have to kind of wait for the debuffs to subside. And then shortly afterwards, we can try to once again take down Gladiator as soon as possible. Only difference compared to last time is that we actually have most of our ultimates ready to go here. So as you can see, our enemies go down just like that. Death pool just starts going crazy. And we actually ended up triggering Thanos Endgame's passive once again. So really good stuff there because like I said, the sooner he triggers that, the better, because you can land the massive Val ultimate and that just completely wipes the board here. So you can see I just hit auto, guys, because at this point usually for me it's locked in once the moment Gladiator is down. But I just wanted to showcase for you guys how easy this boss node is when you do have the right characters here. So typically you want to be aiming for the Void Knights, taking them down, because there's actually a red goblin as well. But you can see here, yeah, like I think the Void Knight is definitely a pain point in this node, and once you take him down, you know, it is smooth sailing after the Annihilators have been also finished up here. I probably could have saved my ultimate, but like I said, I want to showcase for you guys that you can actually auto this the moment that first couple of enemies do fall. So that's pretty massive. If Nightcrawler ends up ulting, it's a good place for you, because you can actually just wait and kind of take your time, build up some energy on this last attack here before the last wave spawns. So just keep that in mind. You do have a bit of time, and then that's going to spawn the last 5 enemies here. There should be another Void Knight coming, the Red Goblin, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Lizard. He usually spawns after a couple of turns. In this case, it worked out for us. But yeah, no issues whatsoever using this last final node. But I wanted to show you guys once again, you know, this is kind of how I'm doing it now, and this is a strong reason why I'm skipping Night Stalkers in terms of using my power cores. I'll let the events come for me, because right now you can see with these teams right now that I currently built and invested in, I can get all 3 nodes done just like that. So hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully it gives you guys some insight. I know it's like utilizing some of the best end game tunes, but I just wanted to showcase for you guys why I'm not using power cores for Night Stalkers, because there's a lot of strong mystic characters, and like I said, hopefully this can help you figure out some other strategies. Maybe you can swap in and out Odin with some other choices. That's how I was getting by with my alliance mates in the single lane, but now this is able to allow me to do my own lane. So thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.